All right, today we're jumping into the wild world of the 2026 FIDE Freestyle Chess World Championship. Now, if you're not familiar, this is the format where the starting positions are totally random. It throws all the opening books out the window and just forces pure, raw creativity from the very first move. And we're going to break down one of the most insane semifinal matches you will ever see, a total battle of nerves, skill, and momentum that had everybody holding their breath. And I'm not kidding about the pressure. To give you an idea of the atmosphere in the room, just listen to that live call from the commentary team. That is not an exaggeration. The stakes were through the roof, and you could practically feel the tension with every single piece that was moved.
So let's set the stage, shall we? We are down to the final 4 players. Every single one of them is fighting for a spot in that championship match to become the first ever freestyle chess world champion. 2 massive matches with absolutely zero room for error.
So, on one side, you've got the legend himself, Magnus Carlsen, and he's taking on the young Uzbek prodigy Nodirbek Abdusattorov. And on the other side, we have the American powerhouse Fabiano Caruana going up against Germany's Vincent Keymer. Now, both of these were incredible, but it's that second match, Caruana versus Keymer, that would just turn into this unforgettable back-and-forth thriller.
So yeah, we're going to focus on Caruana versus Keymer because it kicked off with an absolute masterclass from Fabiano. Honestly, it looked like he was just trying to send a message, and that message was pretty brutal.
So how did he do it? I mean, he's playing with the black pieces, which is usually a tiny bit of a disadvantage. But Caruana, well, he put on a clinic. It all started with this really brilliant, aggressive idea that just seemed to throw Keymer completely off his game.
And you can really break down Fabi's genius here into 3 key steps. So first, he just sacrifices a pawn with g5. And what this does is it blows the whole position wide open, creating these direct attack lanes right at Keymer's king. Then, he brings his bishop all the way out to a4, a move that just completely paralyzes the king. There's nowhere safe to go. And from there, it was just total crushing domination.
And this number, wow, this number really illustrates just how precise he was. Caruana played this incredibly complex, tactical game with a mind-blowing 96% accuracy, according to the engines. Now think about that. In a chaotic freestyle game where there's no theory, that is about as close to perfect chess as a human can get. Yeah, the performance left the commentators just stunned. It was a completely flawless victory that put Caruana up 1-0. And at that point, it really felt like this semifinal might be over very, very quickly.
But, just when it looked like Caruana was going to cruise right into the finals, the entire match just flipped on its head. And it all started with this huge, hidden moment in the second game. So the game itself ended in a draw. But when they looked at it afterwards with the computer, it revealed something shocking. Keymer had a winning move, a really tricky, hidden idea that he just didn't spot in the heat of the moment. Caruana even admitted later he knew he was completely lost. It was such a critical missed chance for Keymer to tie the match. And this timeline just shows you how the momentum completely swung. Despite missing that huge win, Keymer didn't fall apart. He actually channeled that energy into Game 3, and he won brilliantly to tie the entire match. Just like that, from the brink of defeat, it was all square.
So with the score knotted at 1.5 to 1.5, it all came down to one single, final, nerve-wracking game. The winner goes to the World Championship final. The loser goes home. I mean, the pressure in that room could not possibly have been higher. Now, after 3 games of this incredible high-level chess, you might expect some brilliant combination to decide it all, right? Nope. Instead, the entire match was decided by this, an unforced error, a slip-up that happened right at the very beginning of the game.
I mean, listen to this. On his second move, Keymer played the pawn to f5. Now, it was a risky idea, probably something he prepared, trying to grab the initiative. But over the board, it just dangerously weakened his own king. This one move, this single decision, it turned out to be disastrous. And Caruana, he smelled blood in the water and he never let go.
From that one mistake, Caruana was just absolutely ruthless. He expertly punished that opening error, he launched this powerful attack, and he just systematically built up his advantage until he found the killer shot, knight to c4, which just completely blew Keymer's defenses apart. And just like that, Vincent's incredible tournament run came to a sudden, heartbreaking end. In his interview after the match, Fabiano Caruana pretty much summed it up perfectly. It was a bit of a roller coaster, not just for the players, but for every single person watching.
So while Caruana was fighting his way through all that chaos, the other semifinal saw Magnus Carlsen book his spot in the final. But his win was a totally different kind of beast. It wasn't really a tactical brawl. It was more like a slow, strategic squeeze where he just methodically outplayed Abdusattorov in a much more controlled match. And as you can see, when the dust settled, both matches actually finished with the exact same 2.5 to 1.5 score. So two very different paths, but they led to the same result, setting up a legendary showdown for that first ever Freestyle Chess World Championship crown. And that sets the stage for what is, really, a dream final. Carlsen versus Caruana. You've got two of the greatest players of their generation. They've fought for the classical world title before, and now they're going to face off in the total chaos of freestyle chess. The only question left is, who's going to make history?